Hey, everyone. I'm here. Let's see if we can get that. Here we go. Hi, Amanda. So happy to see you. All right. Pop this away. And we are ready to go. I hope you are all doing really good. I'm sort of like shocked that it's August 18th already. That seems completely, totally, and utterly wild to me. I feel like it was just August 1st. Um, at this rate, I'm going to blink and it's going to be December. That's what I'm thinking. Hi, Kate. Hey, Shalana. How are you today? I talked to Shalana earlier. She's my friend. Hey, Billion. How are you tonight? So, for those of you who might have missed it, I have a nickname now. It is Pumpkin. I'm embracing it. I love it. Okay. So tonight's bundle. Tonight's bundle is all about making some super duper fun bookmarks. So this bundle and this project tonight started at Create Your Ending because when I was at Create Your Ending, they just had packaged and had for purchase these bookmark washi maps, which are so cool. And I saw them and went, those are so cool. And Heather said, you should put them in a bundle. And I said, that's a fabulous idea. So now we have a bundle. I am also, so tonight's bundle has those washi map bookmarks. We're going to make each pack of the bookmarks comes with 5 on a sheet, and there's 2 sheets in the package. So you get 10 bookmarks total. We are going to use 1 whole sheet and make 5 of them. There are 2 stamp sets in tonight's bundle. The 2x3 Warm Fox stamp set, which is so cute. And the 4x4 scripted stamp set, which I adore for so many things. So we're going to use them on bookmarks tonight, but this is a great, like, everyone should have it. Every crafter should have it. It works for cards. It works for scrapbook pages, bookmarks. It's so cool. And then I chose 3 washi tape sheets that I really like, but honestly, you could pick any washi sheets that you wanted. You could do bookmarks for any theme that you want to do. It doesn't matter. So I chose Dewey Decimal, Spine Tingler, and Forever Yours. Forever Yours is probably one of my favorite washi sheets, hands down, period. I have also used it on scrapbook pages and all kinds of things, and it's so much fun. I love it. So that is tonight's bundle. Also, if you purchase the bundle tonight, you also receive a package, bottle of the brand new craft glue. This was another thing that we got to play with for the first time at Create Your Own Ending. It's really fun. I have some tips and tricks for you, and we're going to talk about this glue, and I'm going to use it a little bit later on our projects. So let's get started. Billion says she's roasting in the heat, but otherwise great. I'm in air conditioning, and you'll notice I didn't turn. A lot of times when I do my lives, I'll turn the air conditioning off. I, in fact, did not turn off the air conditioning today. So if you hear a little buzzing in the background, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I need my air because it's hot here. So hot. For Pennsylvania, it's hot, but it's going to cool down. tomorrow. Or at least that's what they tell me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut apart this bookmark washi. Hi, Susan. Happy Monday. I'm telling you what, my Mondays have become extremely easier or better since I started doing lives on Monday. Makes me actually enjoy Monday. And Monday used to be like the worst day of the week. I was the biggest Monday hater. So thank you. So I am just using my trimmer and I'm following the little black lines so I can match the little blade up with the black line. And we're just going to go ahead and cut these all apart. We are also going to do some inking tonight. So you can see over here, I have Guppy, Weeping Willow, and Prom Queen. So which washi sheet do you guys want to start with tonight? Do you have any requests of which one I should play with first? The Forever Yours, the Spine Tingler, or the Dewy Death Metal? If you have a personal favorite you want to see me work with first, let me know in the comments. I will take requests. Ah, yes, you are so right. William says, you no longer have school on Mondays either. So win-win. Exactly. There's no more school going on here. I still think it hasn't like really sunk in yet. I feel like it's gonna start sinking in when I start getting when I start seeing everyone else posting, because schools around here don't start till they start later this week, like Thursday and Friday of this week or something. So when all my friends start posting their their kids and their back to school pictures, that's when it's going to hit me that I don't have that this year. Okay, let's do the Spine Tingler. And the reason I'm going to go with that one is because that one is like the easiest one of all of my different designs. So that one is just I used a really simple design for this one. The other ones are going to have stamping and different things. This one's pretty easy, so we'll go with that. So I am going to give this a little trim, just a little bit, with my guillotine trimmer, just to make sure it's nice and straight and even. Let's give it a little haircut. Hi, Irma. Oh, didn't they have a 5-day school week? So my Logan, as many of you know, both of my children were homeschooled. We did school differently, different days. So we did half a day on Saturday and Sunday, but then we would take Friday completely off, and we would also take half a day on Thursday, because that just worked better for schedules. And let's face it, like nothing's open on the weekends around here anyway. So we would do like our fun stuff Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday afternoon, and especially Sunday afternoons when it was kind of like, nothing was going on, we would do school. So if you've never seen a map, there are bookmark washi maps and there are card washi maps. But basically, they work the same way. We're doing bookmarks tonight, but whether you do bookmarks or cards, they work the same way. And that is that each panel that you cut apart has these gray pieces marked off in different designs. And then you just follow those gray marks and you put your washi sheets or your washi strips right there, right on top of those gray marks. Could not be easier. Now for my spine tingler bookmark, I'm going to use these yellow, can't tell colors tonight apparently, these purpley pink shades down here. And then we're going to add a little bit of inking to them. So what's cool about this is you just line up your washi sheet, washi strip, all the way across, give it a little push down. Then you can just flip it and trim it. And then you can use this exact same one. The only time you wouldn't be able to use the exact same washi sheet over and over again is if it has something on it that, like it's not a repeating pattern, or like a word wouldn't work, things like that. But for the most part, so there's the first one. And then, of course, you could leave your bookmark just like that, go through 5 of them, go through all 5 of them, and be done. Super simple. We're going to jazz it up a little bit, though, because it's me. Hi, Luann. I'm going to grab the Prom Queen Stellar ink. So I have the Stellar ink, the foam pads. If you have the felt pads, it's all the same ink. It's all the same color. Just the difference is the pads. So I'm going to go, I have a Glassboard Studio glass mat, so I can go ahead and do ink blending right here on my mat without a problem. So I'm going to start kind of off and then come in and just catch the edges. And I'm going to ink the edges all the way around. And then if my ink gets a little, just grab another one. Now I am going to be pretty heavy-handed because let's face it, these are just white bookmarks. They're a little boring without some pizzazz to them. I know it. It needs some pizzazz. And we're going to, as we work through these bookmarks, we're going to go ahead and kind of make them harder as we go, if that makes sense. So this one then is done, our first one. Super simple. Some washi tape, the blending, a little bit of blending ink, and done. Does not have to be hard, and that looks really, really cute and fun. Next one, we're going to make it just a little bit more, right? That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it a little bit more. So I'm going to put this away. I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to grab this one. And then I'm going to grab the Forever Yours washi sheet. You get 2 sheets in each of these washi packs. So you will have tons and tons and tons of washi strips, because you saw there we used like 1 1/4. So you'll have lots and lots of washi strip sheets in the bundle to go ahead and do lots of different projects. Okay. So the first one I'm going to do is this one, which just looks like this. I'm going to work on these two both together at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and start by lining up and putting the washi onto these bookmarks. This, to me, these washi bookmarks and washi sheets, I feel like they would make such a good, like, crafting with kids project. I think that if I was still a homeschool mom, this would be an awesome, like, fun, crafty art project for little ones to do, like younger, elementary school, smaller kids. And I think that that would be, like, super fun for them. Nope. I'm going to turn this just because I want to make sure that I'm catching that gray part of the washi map. Yeah, lots of kids. Kate said the students in her area began last week. Yeah, they've been starting. I think they just keep starting earlier and earlier and earlier. We did the whole that I was growing up. We started on the Monday or the Tuesday, not even the Monday, the Tuesday after Labor Day. Like that was when you started. That was everybody, all the schools. And I think it was like all the schools in Pennsylvania. Like that's when they started. I'm going to use some of these smaller scrap pieces that I have here because this is a really great use for these scrap pieces because you don't need full. I am watching with this particular washi because you can put these on upside down. Not something I want to do. I don't want my writing to be upside down. So I am kind of keeping an eye on that. Ah, that's not cool. But Penny says that's the law. Start after Labor Day, but school districts in rural areas can ask for an exemption. Ah, so no one starts after Labor Day, really. Yep. They do try to get them in as quick as possible. I'm not good at my state. That's Montana, right? Is that Montana? Missouri. Okay. You get snow, so maybe it's like a snow thing. Is that the idea? Or do they get like tons of time off? Because I know some schools, they give you like they start early. They start really early and then they go and they give the kids like 3 weeks off in December and then another like 2 weeks off for spring break. Like so they're basically going to school practically all year long. And their summer is like maybe a month because they give them all this time off during the school year. Like they break it up a ton. I'm not a fan. Just start the school year, get it all out of the way, get finished with it, and then let me have my summer. But I do know that there are school districts or schools and states that do that. I know that that's how it is in Georgia for sure. Oh, okay, Kate, that makes sense. Like the standardized testing. Is that the testing that they're trying to get the kids ready for? So if you're watching this, you will notice that I am wasting, or like the cast offs for the washi tape is very, very little. I am using as much of each of these strips as possible. And the only parts that I am throwing away are the little smidgens that I need to do for this one because they're coming out diagonal. So you're wasting very, very little. And I'm sorry if my fuzzy head's getting in the way. I'm just trying to make sure I can see the gray bits, the gray shadow pieces. So for those of you who are here every week, next week, we are gonna, yes, standardized testing. That's what I thought. So next week, I want to talk about next week because I'm super excited. So next week, we are gonna start early. My live will be at 6 o'clock instead of 8. And we're gonna do a scrapbook page. I always like to start the scrapbook pages early because I just know in my head that I can't get a whole scrapbook page done. I mean, maybe sometimes I can get one done in an hour or less, but I like to start at 6 so that if it takes me an hour and a half, it's not bedtime. So next week, mark your calendars. We are going to go live at 6. And we're going to do a scrapbook page. And I made a lovely sketch, which I will share with everybody on social media Monday afternoon so that you can grab the sketch and have it to play along with if you want. How about that? Yes. I know Amanda's one of the scrapbookers that comes to my live, so I thought she might enjoy that. Yep, we're gonna do a scrapbook page. I have a photo bundle, everything. So now we have our washi strips on these 2 bookmarks. And then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go ahead, just like we did for this one. Remember, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do these so that every set is gonna have something extra. So we did the 2 steps for this one, the washi strips and the ink blending. So now we're gonna do the washi strips, the ink blending, and then something else, and then something extra. Hi, Jerry, no worries. We're making bookmarks and chit-chatting. So the color I am using around the edges of this one, of these 2 bookmarks, is Weeping Willow. So this is like a deep, dark brown. And I'm leaving the middle kind of like a halo. Does So whereas the last one we inked pretty liberally. We inked all the way around and into the bookmark. We kind of almost colored it all. This one, we're doing the ink blending a little bit lighter handed. So it'll be a little dark around the edges, but then we're leaving some white space in the middle. So we can get started then all the way around. Just like that is perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and wipe up the ink off of the mat. Keep your ink out. And now we're going to go ahead and grab our Misty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this right down. I'm actually going to move my stick and stamp mat because I know that the way that I'm going to do this, I would end up stamping on my stick and stamp mat, and it's not really good to stamp on it. We're going to take this scripted background stamp. Make sure it's facing up, which is a little hard, but you can do it. I know you can. And I'm going to center my, and actually, fun fact, if you flip it upside down accidentally, you're totally fine. You won't even know, I promise. So I'm going to straighten this out, and I'm going to line the top of the stamp up with the top of the bookmark. And then I'm going to try just to stamp on the bookmark. I'm not inking my stamp up completely. I'm just inking up the middle part of it. And then we're going to go ahead and move our bookmark up. And we're going to take our stamp and we're going to pop the same stamp along the bottom. And this is the same ink that I used to ink blend. You can see that you get a different look when you ink blend versus stamping with a stamp. So it doesn't look like it's like blending in. It's much darker. There we go. Here's stamp number 1. Oh, thank you so much. Jerry said she enjoyed my class at Create Your Own Ending and she watched virtually. Thank you, Jerry, very much. I was so nervous. You can ask Miss Penny. The night before, I was practicing that technique with the swatch dots over and over and over and over again because I was so scared that I would do it wrong live the next day. So I was so happy when it was when it worked and I did it really well. So I'm so glad you enjoyed it. So here's our second stamp set. And again, you can kind of see this is what it looks like, just plain. And this is what it looks like when we add just that little bit of extra stamping to it. Like this is has so much more extra depth and interest and it's so nice. So So then we'll go ahead. And we'll stamp this one. Oh, thank you, Luann. Luann said, you did great. Thank you. That's always good to hear. So we're going to give this, and then we'll pull this up. And then we'll do the bottom part. And there is bookmark design number 2. And now we have just 2 more left. And the only reason this one's last, and the only reason that it's going is because if you're going to recreate it, you'll need to do a little bit of coloring. But you know, this is my life. We have the magic of TV here with us. So, of course, when I do my bookmark, I have my coloring done already. Okay. So go ahead and put our stamp away. Thank you. I did make a pretty cute project that night. I did. It was cute. And I did it without a paper trimmer because I left my paper trimmer at the store. So here are our last 2 bookmark designs. And here is our last sheet of washi. Which I think is so cute. Look at that little bookshelf. Aren't they adorable? That's like the cutest one. It's so cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get same beginning to our project, except that we're gonna have to, okay, so do what I say, not what I do. If you have extra washi sheets, they are super sticky. Don't accidentally stick them to the bottom little piece here because they're not going to come up. So just be careful. And this is one of those ones that you have to watch because as you can see, like there is a right way and a wrong way for this pattern to go on. Oh, thank you, Shalana. Shalana has to run. You're awesome. I'll talk to you later. Jerry asks, I came in late. What is the base for your bookmark? I'm loving these. Okay, so the base of the bookmarks are the bookmark washi sheets, or is that what they're called? Washi maps. Bookmark washi maps. This is bookmark washi map number 1. So here I can show you. They come on, you get two sheets of them in one package. Each sheet has 5 bookmarks, and then you just cut them apart. And when you cut them apart on the white line, then you take the washi sheet and you just follow where the gray is. Now we are, of course, like adding to ours and making them a little bit special with stamping and inking, but you certainly could just put the washi sheets and follow the little maps that are printed on them. So that's what they are. And they are in tonight's bundle. Also, if you just go, there's a link to the shop in the description box. And if you use that link and go to the shop and just hit the banner that pops up across the top, then they have each individual product. So if you have some of tonight's bundle and you just need to get a couple more things to finish off and have for your project, there is a link just to the shop below too. So the bookmark, they're called bookmark washi maps. And I believe this is bookmark washi map 1, but I don't think they have released a 2 or 3 or anything. But the fact that it's number 1 means they probably will. Yes. Susan said, forever yours. I think you used it in a YouTube hub. I did use it in a YouTube hub. Yep, absolutely. Yep. That Forever Yours washi tape is one of, like, I just love it. I think it's super, it's very much my aesthetic. Let's put it that way. So I do tend to gravitate towards that kind of style. That vintagey old book paper style. Okay, so there's our first one for tonight. And then for this, the Dewey Decimal one. And then here's the second one. Now, this one, again, if you take a look at this, you definitely need to be careful and watch, because it's really, really easy on this one to put your washi tape upside down. And with this washi tape, it will look odd and you'll know immediately if you put it on upside down. Ask me how I know. Okay. That is really cool, Penny. Penny had some fun. Had a fun football story that she put into the comments. And I was so busy reading it, I forgot to talk. Sorry. I just, as an aside, if you see me cutting these very sticky washi tapes so easily with a scissors, just know that my scissors that I use are Teflon coated and they do not stick to anything. So I feel like that's really important to share, because otherwise someone will try with regular scissors and they will rip and tear. So you do have to be careful with cutting the washi if you don't have Teflon coated scissors. Okay. This is our last little strip. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the ink blending, but then we're going to do, instead of doing like a background stamping, we're going to add a cute little fox critter to one of these. And then the other one, we're going to actually stamp like a little sentiment on it. So there are the last two. And when I looked at these bookmarks, these last two bookmarks, here's what I noticed. I noticed that this style of bookmark, this bottom is thicker than the top, right? So this is a little thicker and this is a little thinner. And to me, this thicker area at the bottom just screamed, put a sentiment here, put a cute saying here, put something along that bottom. So that's what we're going to do. And then when I looked at the style of this bookmark, my brain said we need something here, like a little focal point, right? We have this big open gap. Let's fill it with something cute. And so that was my thought process when I was deciding like which bookmarks needed what extra done to. So I am going to use Guppy ink. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to ink blend right around the edge. For this one, I'm going to try to keep a nice open like halo right here that we can put our image into. And but for this one, I'm just going to go for it. Oh, that's a good one too. Penny said we could put a name. You could. Maybe you have an alphabet stamp that you really like. Or maybe just some letter stickers, like some those little tile letter stickers. That's a great idea to put a name in there and personalize your bookmark. So now I have 10 of these because I made 5 for practice, and now I made 5 more. So my plan is that I am going to gift all 10 of these bookmarks to one of my nieces. I have 2 that are in elementary school, and I'm going to let them give these little bookmarks to some of their classmates. I know quite often when I make things, someone always asks me, what are you going to do with this stuff when you're all done? That's what we're going to do with these. Okay, so and I may end up grabbing another set or 2 because I want to see how big their classes are first. I don't want anyone to feel left out. So if I send like with my niece Ella to her class or to school, I want to make sure I'm sending her with enough for all the kids. So this is our warm fox stamp. It has this cute little image, and then it says warm hugs, my sweet friend, which I think is adorable. So we're going to use that. And it fits like so perfectly. I could not have planned that better, right, if I had tried. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this twice. Uh-oh. Don't do it upside down. Hold on. I put the stamp upside down. Yeah, don't do that. Make sure your stamp is the correct way. That would have been hilarious, but also awful. Because I'm stamping on an ink blended background, I know that I'm going to have to stamp this more than once so that I get a crisp, clean black impression, because it's going to the first two or three, first once, twice, maybe even three times I stamp it, it's going to want to like go right into that ink. It's not going to, so we got to stamp it a couple times so it's really nice and crisp. So there is the first one. And then for our second one, with our little focal point, Henny's going to say the magic words. We have our little fox. By the magic of TV, he's all colored up, and look how cute he is. So, so cute. I love him. He's the cutest fox ever. And he's small. So these are those, the Warm Fox set is one of those kind of small 2x3 stamp sets. So the image is small, but absolutely perfect for a bookmark, because look how perfect he's going to fit right there, right on our little bookmark. So now is the time when we're going to use this craft glue. Let's talk about this for a second. So the craft glue, it comes free with tonight's bundle. It's in just this little, little container. It has a wee little tip and a wee little nozzle cover thingy. So what makes this craft glue cool? Couple of things to note on the craft glue. Number one, it does not dry immediately. So it takes a little while to dry, which is kind of good because then you have a lot of time to go ahead and fidget with things and move things around and all of that. The other kind of cool thing that it does is that you can, so it does take a while. I'm going to get this into place, and then I'm going to put an acrylic block on it. So you can use it just like that. Just know it's slow drying glue. The other thing you can do is take it, put it on your paper, put a little bit on there, just like that, and then leave it. And it'll make a little, like, teensy tiny little glue dot for you. And then so I think it dries clear. And my thought process is that you could then put something transparent on top of it and you wouldn't see it. Like you could put it underneath vellum because it wouldn't be wet. That's my thought on that. You can also let it, because when you let it dry, so you put it on here and you let it dries clear, but it doesn't dry. Like when it dries, it's still sticky so then you have to put something on top of it. I hope that makes sense. So that's kind of cool. So just know, if you buy the bundle tonight, if you get your craft glue for free, go ahead and play with it a little bit. It's not your average glue. It's not your Nuvo glue. It's not your super glue. It's like glue you can play around with and do some fun stuff with, which makes sense because if it wasn't unique, then why would Burgess Monroe need its own craft glue, right? But it is unique and interesting. Very cool. Okay, so we did awesome. I was so scared we were going to be done at 8:30. I'm like, because how easy are the bookmarks, right? So here are all the different ones that we made tonight. And this one, I'll show you this one too. So this is the one that I made, but I flipped the bookmark the other direction so that the gap was at the top. So here's what it looks like with the gap at the top, and here's what it looks like with the gap at the bottom. And either way, you can do it. I also think this one is really cool with these bookmarks because the bookmarks, they are cool. So there's those. Here is the other little one. And this one, I went ahead and added a white kind of banner underneath the fox. So in the comments, we were talking about adding a name. You could put a name on it. So this one, I just used the same sentiment, right? But you could make a little band across this one and add a name as well. So just another idea. So these are the two we did tonight. And then these are the two that I did. And you can see this one has a little bit more heavy-handed. And this one is a little more white. And this is why I do different things with the example, like my practice projects versus the ones I do on here live with you guys. So you have another extra kind of idea, right? You can do it darker, you can do it later. You can put it up here, you can put it down here. You can add your fox and then you can add something underneath your fox on a white band, or you can do what we did tonight and just leave it with just the fox. We even have different coloring options with your fox. And then our last pink one, it looks pretty similar both ways because this was the easy one, right? That was the first one. So there is all of our bookmarks. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you came tonight. Remember, next week we are doing a scrapbook page, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled cards starting in September. And how is that possible that we only have one more Make It Monday for August? That is crazy, you guys. Crazy. All right. I will talk to you all again very, very soon. Bye.